You just can't always get what you want. But if you try so hard, you just might find you get what you need. Isn't that what life really is, man? I don't get everything I want. No, no, no. Contrary to you might think, I get what I need. Kind of live my way, my life that way. I can't always get what I want. Although sometimes, I make decisions and I go by them and, I kind of achieve the goal that I want to achieve. Okay, you say, well, you're getting what you want. But question is it what I need? What do I need? Oh, oxygen to breathe, food to sustain myself, a loving partner, a safe, clean, hygienic shelter to shelter myself from the sun, the rain, the elements. That's, basic life, right? But I don't always get what I want. Not always. It's never been that way. When the truth is, I've had to fight hard in my life to really get what I wanted. Now, that could mean achievements, could mean relationships, money, has a lot of applications. Life, it's a challenge. You just never know what's going to happen the next day, or the day after that, or the day after that, or the day after that, or the day after that. But you just keep on keeping on, right? Keep on trucking. Why? Because you have to. I mean, you don't have to, but you could jump off a building and end it all. But that's just going to create a nasty mess for somebody to have to clean up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's life. One more chorus, okay? You can't always get what you want. I say, you cannot always get what you want. But if you try so hard, you just might find you get what you need. Yeah. Well, we all want something, but we can't always achieve the things that we want. You know, sure, I'd like to be 30 years younger. That ain't going to happen. Just ain't going to happen. So I keep on keeping on. Why? Because I have to. Not even always because I want to, but I want to keep on keeping on. Because I'm stubborn. I'm probably the most stubborn person you'll ever meet in your life. Because when I set a goal, and that's one characteristic of me, I've been written about, talked about, but the one thing you never understand about me, when I aim my sights for something, there's a reason and a rhyme until I get what I want. And I'm steadfast, and I'm focused, and I don't give up. That's kind of like life itself. When shit comes your way, no matter what happens to you, medically, anything, you don't give up unless you want to give up. And we have that choice. We all do. But I don't feel like I, you know, want to get to a certain point real fast, if you know what I'm talking about. And I'm a stubborn son of a gun. I'm going to look the fucking Grim Reaper in his fucking eyes and say, fuck you. I'll decide when I go. Not you. That's kind of the way I am. Hello, Bill. Keep marching on. Well, it's all I do. I march on until I can't anymore. Isn't what that's life all about, Bill? You just keep on marching on, man, until you can't anymore. One day you may not be able to walk. Then you'll realize how important walking was when you lose the ability to walk. Then when you do shitty things all your life to somebody, or people in general, plural, then you realize one day that there's payment. Payment is due. Your electric, you're going to use electricity, you got to pay that electricity. You got rent, you pay rent. Well, rent is due. You got to make your freaking payment. Or you get kicked out. That's life. What you put into your life is what you get out of your life. So if you're living a shitty life, whose fault is that? Whose fault? That guy, this guy, me, you? No. It's whoever you are. You make your life what it is. You can make it miserable or you can make it very joyful. See, we have choices in our life. We actually do. We all have choices to make. You want to live by the golden rule? Well, probably, your life go a lot better. You want to be defiant of everything, including the law? Well, that catches up with you now and then, or eventually, and it does. You want to cause physical harm to somebody? Well, yeah, you get all that pleasure out of it. But later on, comes back to you. Lawsuit, jail, or repercussions, revenge. Who said life is fair? I never did. I never said life is fair. Never did. You think I like having an allergy? It sucks. Yeah, it sucks. You think I liked having 3 fucking hernia operations? Well, you're not going to die from that necessarily, but I had 3 hernia operations in my life. Did I like getting that? No. I had a bad episode of sciatica about 4 years ago. Oh, God, it was painful. Oh, wow. I was pretty fucked up for 3 months. Did I like it? I hated it. Then you say, life ain't fair. Well, what did you do to get that sciatica? You must have lifted something wrong. You infringed on a nerve. Keep it in mind that the sciatica nerve is the biggest nerve in your body. And when you fuck with the sciatica nerve, it's going to go down your buttock, around front to your calves, down your leg, down to your feet. And you're going to feel it, Jack. And you're going to know what pain is. Ever have a kidney stone? I did. Many, many, many years ago. Hurt like hell. Had to drive myself to the hospital. They had to knock me out. Problem resolved the next morning. I wake up. Well, it's daylight already. Where did the night go? And I had to drive myself in the middle of the fucking night. No assistance. Drove on my own to Northwest Hospital in Seattle to bring myself to the ER. Got in the car with all that pain. All that pain, and called for no ambulance. I drove myself. Because I'm a determined motherfucker. That's who I am. I don't always need somebody's help when I could do shit on my own. But comes a time in life, and we get older, we can't always do things on our own. It's like when you're an infant. You need your mama. You need your parents to take care of you. We're one of the few animals on Earth that doesn't just come out of the mother's womb or out of an egg, and they can just go on with their life without help from mama. We're one mammal species on this earth that needs guidance, needs its mama to take care of him till he's old enough to think on its own and take care of itself. That usually takes about 24 years. Sometimes 40 years, because some people are still living with their parents. They always need mama. And they always depend on mama and dad's help, and they live at the house, and they become a bum. They're always sucking money off people and, never paying them back. Yeah. Life is a challenge, my friends. Or foes. Life is a challenge. You can't always get what you want. But, if you try real hard, you might get what you want. But what did you do to get what you wanted? And where did it bring you in life? Where are you right now? Where are you? What's going on in your life right now? This moment. What's going on with your life? Are you healthy? Are you happy? Do you have your freedom? Freedom rings. It does. There's nothing in the world like freedom. Try being incarcerated for a long time. If you don't go out of your monkey ass mind, you want to kill yourself at some point. Some people are very weak in that way. But one thing about life, a lot of people get by in life by being very honest with people. It works very well. Some people get by in life by lying to everybody to try to cover their tracks, to cover their crimes. They don't want to show people what a real louse that they are. So they put on a big act. I'm innocent. I would never take money off anybody. I'd never do that. I've never harmed a woman in my life. Well, when they actually did. So what is it? A defense system, I guess you'd call it? Or they've been living in Egypt near denial. They love that river. That's a very famous river, Denial. Why is that? Except there's different spelling between denial and the Nile River. Are they synonymous with each other? In some ways, perhaps. Everybody's got an excuse for something. Well, you know what? I may be one of these weird guys. I don't make excuses for anything. I lay it out like I feel. I don't make excuses. There's no reason. Life's too short. Why do you make excuses? Did you ever do something wrong? Ever? Of course, we all done something wrong. Sometimes we've done many things wrong. It's better to just fess up to it and say, yeah, I did that. Or I said that. Get out of your system. Admit to yourself that, guess what? You're imperfect. There's nobody perfect on this earth. Never will be. We're all full of some serious crap. We've all done something that we're either embarrassed of, or that we regret. And maybe some people don't regret what they do. They just constantly make something called excuses for all their actions. Everything's an excuse. Well, the reason I did that is because what? Because you're a fucking louse on the skin of society? Is that why you did it? I never said that. Oh, even though 1,000 people heard you say that. We're going back to Egypt again. Here we go. Back to Egypt, back to denial. I mean, you might as well build a house on the side of the goddamn river. You know what I'm saying, guys? You might as well build a goddamn house on the river Nile. Denial. Maybe you'll be happier that way. This way you don't have to make any excuses. I'm living in denial. And you are. You're living in denial. Denial river or denial of character? Which is it? You got to make that choice and know the distinction between the both. There's a river and there's a state of consciousness, of awareness. Sometimes what a piece of shit somebody could be. When you realize you're a POS, maybe there's room for improvement. But unlike some people, it's like a nervous tick that you can't get rid of. No matter how you try. You don't always get what you want, but you'll try real hard to get what you need. Got my point, brothers? Yeah. You're listening to the voice of a man who is not perfect. You're listening to the voice of a man that has made mistakes in his life. You're listening to a man who has corrected mistakes in his life. You're listening to a man who's not afraid to say, hey, I fucked up on this matter or that matter at some point in time in my life. I fucked up, whether it was a relationship, whether it was something you did, an embarrassing moment. You fucked up. So rather than deny the fact of what you did, no matter what it was, say it. The newest expression today is, fuck me. Well, good. If you could say that, fuck me, you're admitting that you did something wrong. And that's a great stride. That's a great stride. Noah Blackwell. I remember him threatening to kill you. I don't know if I'm talking about anybody in particular here. We're just talking very general here. Any woman. I was watching the live stream when he said it. Yes, somebody out there did do that. You're right, Noah Blackwell. Oh, you're very right. I really think that people need to pay dearly. It's the only way they're going to learn. When they are put through a testing period to see how strong they are, and it gives them time to examine themselves, especially when they find themselves in a position that they cannot control, like being incarcerated. No freedom, not like you want. That's when you got plenty of time to think about yourself. About yourself. I remember this one guy pawned some false teeth. So do I. So all these little, brave hearts out there, all these little white knights out there who's saying, poor guy, he's paid for his mistakes. He's had time, almost a year, to think about what he or she, whoever the person may be, did. It does not work with everybody that way. Remember, in their mind, their delusional mind, they're living on denial. And they should be saving their money to build a house on that river. They really should be. Because that's where they belong, in denial. Of course, I would never live there. It's just too hot and dry. But in these people's delusional minds, they're living in denial. It's their life. You're not going to change them no matter how much you try. I don't care what you do. Put them on a rack. Put them on a goddamn rack. And stretch their bones and muscles out so they're in total pain. But they're still going to say, I didn't do it. I didn't say it. I never hurt anybody. Well, you have to kind of examine the current situation. Where are you now? And how did you get there? By accident? There's always a reason why you are where you are. There's a reason why I'm in the goddamn Philippines. There's a reason I'm with this woman I'm with now. There's a reason I got 2 dogs. There's a reason I got 2 kids living with me. There's a reason for everything in life. We all make decisions in life, my friends. And decisions we make are going to determine how happy you are in your life. I'll give you an example. Who the hell's job is it to tell you how happy or unhappy you are? Who are those folks, them do-gooders, the high roaders, I call them? Who are they to say that you're broke? Who are they to say that you're unhappy? Is it because maybe they're broke and unhappy and miserable? Because they haven't made any achievements in their life and they're kind of upset that maybe other people have. Oh, poor babies. Well, you see, that's not my problem. And I don't even tell you all my problems. We all have problems. Every one of us. You'd be lying through your fucking penis if you said you don't have some problem or another. Mental issue, physical issue. You're all full of shit. That's what I would say. That if you don't have some form of anxiety in this society, if you don't have some form of depression in this God-forsaken society, Mad Max movie that we're all living out here. It's a Mad Max movie. I've said that for years. And guess what? I'll say it again. Yeah. They can't see past their own eyes. Judge Kubota, Your Honor, good to have you back. My main man, Judge Kubota. I like that guy. Even though he didn't give me a break. You didn't show up in person, so I'm going to penalize you. But, Your Honor, I'm here on camera, on Zoom. Don't that make any difference? I'm here. I'm actually here. But you're not physically in the courtroom, motherfucker. So I'm going to make a judgment on you based on default. Default is like denial. Default is like denial. Come on, Judge Kubota. You going to default me? Yeah. How many faults do you have, Your Honor? Cheating on your wife? What did you do? You're standing there with your cloak on, with a fucking gavel in your hand, and telling me that I can't defend myself, Your Honor. Because I'm not physically in the courtroom, but I'm on screen, Your Honor. Huh. Mighty white of him to decide to support the NAACP. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. Who donated to that fund, right? Yeah, I'd like to tell it to the judge. If I did, well, there would have been more sanctions against me, but I was a good boy. Was a good boy. And I shut my mouth. Okay, Your Honor, sir, sire, Your Majesty. Your decision. I don't agree with it, sir. The people that stand before you are liars, scammers, cheaters. They push God in all their sentences, that God is looking after them. And they're righteous people when they've been doing wrong to people all their fucking life. But you go in a court of law, and they got to find some reason to throw a wrench in the machinery. Where if it would have turned out the way it should have turned out, it would have been these mofos that owed me fucking money. Lots of fucking money. Now that's a fact. Now, I'm not in denial that I didn't show up physically in a courtroom. You remember this little thing about Hawaii? Well, if the tables were turned, they'd be paying dearly to me. But they had no money anyway. But I was a nice guy. When I was having them evicted, they came up to me in the hallway of the courtroom. And I was there with my attorney. And while he was there, well, first of all, let's back up. And I really don't want to talk about them, but let me finish this up. Because I'm making a point here. Point is that Under the circumstances, I did not have to give these people any time to get their shit together and find a place to live. They caused enough damage to me and my unit. But the nice guy that I fucking am, the nice fucking guy that I am, despite the circumstances, I said, after he practically begged me in the hallway, look, can you give us a little bit more time? I mean, I'm being sincere with you. I mean, we'd appreciate it, you know, because she was told that your asses are evicted. You're evicted officially. Judgment went down on them. But we don't talk about that, do we? No, we don't talk about that. Got a judgment on their asses. That I finally got them out of what used to be a happy home. They occupied my former space, which was the only word I could describe it was my sanctuary. They destroyed my sanctuary, which was my home, for many, many years that I upkept. I created memories. They ripped up my home, and I'm the one that gets the judgment. Because I wasn't physically in the fucking courtroom. How fair is that? When I was in the courtroom, electronically, that's what they do. They're the ones that even gave me the goddamn number of the Zoom. What did that mean? What did that say? Okay, I made the assumption that it was all good. I was in that courtroom. But no. I don't know, maybe he just made a payment to the NAACP. I don't know. The poor tenants, they were just ripped apart by me. I was going around like a madman, looking in fucking windows. They say that they never caused damage to my unit, that they never tried to get my brother thrown off Section 8, the one they called Uncle Al. Am I making my point to you guys? To finish the story on that, I was being a nice guy. I said, okay, I'll give you a week. That'll be Friday. But you got to be out. Okay, thank you, man. I appreciate it. The strange thing was that the horrible landlord that I was supposed to have been was invited to barbecues. Oh, birthday parties, events. Came over and gave us food. The wife or girlfriend volunteered to cut my hair for free. Well, I don't know about you guys, but if I was this demon of a landlord and I did all these devious, nefarious things, why would they do that? And why would they invite one of their other children from another island to spend a whole month living there amongst this nefarious landlord? Okay, made my point. That's the cutoff point. No more to say on them. You make your own judgments. And you usually do. Everything's a court of law here on YouTube. But court of law is not on YouTube. It's in a courtroom. That's what I concentrate on. I can say anything I want on here. Don't mean it's true. It don't mean it's not true either. Okay. Because the free ride, that's right, Judge Kubota, it was a free ride, was over, and they knew it. Hey, I was nice enough to, hey, they asked the judge, okay, they're being evicted. Well, how long do we got before we have to move? And Judge Kubota says, today. And they're like, what the fuck? What are we going to do? So, when the gavel went on and all this shit, you're evicted, motherfuckers. In the hallway. He's begging me to give him some time. And the nice guy that I am, and knowing what I went through with these motherfuckers, I said, okay, long as they're not going to be out of my once happy home, I'll give you to the end of the week. I'll give you a week. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, get the fuck away from me. That's the kind of guy I am. I will give people a chance or something. I am capable of showing some compassion when it's due. They didn't deserve one iota of compassion, and neither does somebody else. So if you think I'm a hardliner, you got that goddamn right. If you think I'm hard-nosed, you got that goddamn right. If necessary. Other than that, I'm just your regular guy. Nothing too special about me. I'm just your average guy. I'm getting older, like everybody else is, trying to live a happy life in a relationship. I'm no different than, Joe Blow from Tuckahoe. I want a good life. I want to be happy for how many years I got left on this planet that we call Earth, or is it really hell? It's according to how you view things, what your perspective is. It's up for interpretation whether your life is hell or your life is bliss. You make that determination by how you live your life. And when you make mistakes, you own up to it. You put your boots on the ground, you dust yourself off, and you say, hey, I was wrong, what I said or what I did. And you fess up to it. Now, I will not fess up to doing something wrong in a certain Hawaii situation, because the truth was, and let lightning strike me right now, I'm outside. If I did anything wrong, the fact is I did not. Never mind the hearsay on YouTube. They just want to pull your chain. But I'm the guy that sets the record straight. And I'll spend the time to do it. I have no problem with that at all. They were not good tenants. They were tenants from hell, is what they were. And when they seen they probably going to have a hard time to find another place to rent, knowing that I had the house for sale, well, light bulbs went off. Oh, yeah. Went from 25 watts to 150 in a New York second. Maybe I can make some money off this guy. Maybe we could sit down and put our heads together and we could say, hey, let's tell this lawyer that he did this and he did that. And of course, with the help of Dead Man Fazio, get videos together to try to show me as this evil bastard. Well, I'm no innocent on YouTube, but I'm not an evil bastard. I've had my moments like anybody else. But I do everything for a reason. For a reason. And anything I state about anybody on YouTube is something that's already been demonstrated. Good example, their own shows, on and off camera, that everybody else besides myself has seen. That's what I base things on. I don't go around making up stories that, this guy's a real evil bastard if he's not. I see goodness in some people that nobody else wants to see goodness in. I think most people have a good side. I even think John Blaze has a good side. Have you noticed my change of tone lately? Sure, John Blaze attacks me and he calls me a hater and all that stuff. But John Blaze knows I'm right. He's even got a few health concerns because of my time that I spend on here. My time, I don't get paid for it. Nobody gives me nothing on Gcash. I'm not monetized, but I spend my time talking to a bunch of fucking trolls that hate my fucking guts. Well, basically, they're sock account people, but okay. I'm not getting money from this. I don't get paid for this. I take my time. And if Fazio would have listened to me, that's right. And I'll say it 1,000 times. He be alive because of me. if he had listened to me to get the fucking hyperbaric treatment. I'll say it again and again about the hyperbaric, the hyperbaric, the hyperbaric. Just like that motherfucker said, pedophile, pedophile, you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile. Why is he in jail now? Why has he got a case come? Because he called me a fucking pedophile, that's why. Is that good enough reason for you guys? How about him threatening my life? Is that a good enough reason for you guys? Is it? Put yourself in my shoes. If you wear 9.5 to 10, I don't have big feet. But I always give a big shoe, a really big shoe. Yeah. Blaze's opinion changes by the hour. You're right on that. You're right on that. Wait a minute now. The closet, Jerry the fairy. Jerry, you tried to sneak in, but you're going back out. Bye. The closet experience is actually Jerry the fairy. The Philippines and beyond. Oh, I can't figure things out on here. I'm probably the smartest motherfucker on the Philippines genre to date. Yeah. Yeah, I lived in Lincoln Park, wherever that might be. Lived in denial in Egypt. I walk around committing crimes, horrible crimes. I sing a song around a 9-year-old kid that was determined to be the most evil thing in the world, a Muffin Man song. It was very real. It did inadvertently have to do with a man who had a fucking penis the size of a fucking small mushroom, because he did. But I never said the word C-O, ends with a K. Never even said the name penis. Did I? No, but I was attacked for that. Why? Because they could. And nobody was sitting on my lap, poop eye. Maybe you should eat the corn out of your own shit. Maybe you'd have more nutrition. I can imagine what you look like right now. Probably a scrawny, big belly 40 years ago. God damn, get out of the past and live in the present, that's what I say. Pull yourself out of your ass. Pull yourself out of your fucking ass. Seriously. Making skits about everybody, because that's all he knows how to do. Well, it's easy to talk, but you gotta walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk. You gotta walk the walk. Like walking the dog. Dog needs to go out. You gotta walk the dog. He's gonna shit and piss in your house, in your domicile. So why shit on yourself and put lame shows on when you know you're the lamest person on fucking YouTube? But you make skits. Poop Eye special. Poop Eye shorts. Meanwhile, he's probably laying around with his shorts on all day, smoking his Camel and having his fucking scotch. Then gets on his little scooter pie. Meep, 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 meep. To go to the bingo parlor. Oh, stifle yourself. Robert, stifle yourself. Jesus Christ. Anyway, things are what they are, but you could make it anything you want to be. You could be delusional and say, I'm a great guy. I never took money from these women. I would never do anything like that. Meanwhile, his present girlfriend, hey man, can I get 500 pesos so I could order out some food? I got no money because my Social Security, they stopped it. Meanwhile, he's got about 9,000 American dollars in his account and he ain't got no money. He's got no money. No. But people are gullible enough to believe that shit. Maybe I'm one of the most astute, the most alert, the most progressive thinker on fucking YouTube. Because I see through all this bullshit when some people just don't. Oh, so let's see. There was a judgment against me. Let's go back to that one again. I have to do that a little bit more. Who's being judged now? By their God. Their God that they said all the time is going to protect them. Where are they now? I bet their family is separated. I bet the grandmother passed away. There goes her fucking Social Security check. Did they finally found a place to live? Or did they have to divide the family because they couldn't find a place that would rent to an African American family? And there's no racism involved here. On my part, folks, that was part of the problem that they had. I'm just stating the facts, son. And a big family at that with dogs. Dogs that they allow to piss, to urinate and defecate in the very place that they are paying rent to, that they are renting. Well, that's what happened to my situation. Dogs were pissing and shitting everywhere they wanted to. Before they moved in, I brought brand new carpeting in those bedrooms. Do you know what it looked like when I walked in there? Do you know my state of mind when I saw what I finally was able to see? Because I had the legal capacity to enter that because there was a judgment. So they got their judgment against them. Okay, they got one against me, but I did not have a chance to say shit. Things might have been a little bit different. But I got their judgment against them. They had to get their fucking punk-ass motherfucking asses out of my sanctuary. And that's what it was. I trusted people in my sanctuary to take care of my sanctuary. A lot of memories. Me, my dog, my girlfriend living there with me. Although she was a nutcase, she tried to kill me in the car. And you wonder why I'm popping benzos. There's a rhyme and reason for everything, folks. You just have to understand what they are and examine the facts before you make conclusions about what you think of somebody. Because somebody on YouTube said, he's a bad man. He's a very bad man. Easy to say, hard to prove. Well, how about them? Are they bad men? Damn well know they are. They got their own set of problems. They're living their own swill of misery. They're all miserable. Good evening, Mark. They're all miserable in their own skin. I'm surprised Nico is plowing through 5 to 6 girls, in his fucking dreams. Bill Watts is so funny. He says he's a good man. Mark Catley says, good evening, Mr. BK. Good evening. Rhetoric. Reminds me of a heretic rhetoric. All these high road people now, they're all on the high road. Some guy passes away not too long ago who was the biggest on the list of scumbags on YouTube, who lied and cheated and conned everybody, who told and he spun the web of stories of how he did everything in the world and he could do it better than everybody and the earth is flat and we got reptilians ruling the world and the presidents are really reptilians in human skin. Maybe he put that one in, but I just added that one. The guy who bangs a pot to make a lot. Well, I think his head has been banged too much, my opinion. Rest in peace, P-E-A-S, sir, not peace. Rest in peace. I'm not going to come on here and take the high road with somebody. You take the high road and I'll take the low road. And I'll be in Scotland before ye. I've been ahead of the game the whole time since I've been on YouTube. I know people on here. I know how they think. I know what they do. I even know some of their next move before they even do it. It's a gift, I guess, or maybe it's a curse. The curse. But I'm not going to sit here and honor a guy because he died. Well, death is very final. It certainly is, caring what your beliefs are. But I'm not going to sit here and say he was a great man. He was a fine man. Brandy was a fine girl. And it was Brandy. What a fine girl. What a fine girl that she was. Maybe she wasn't. I dated a Brandy. And guess what? She wasn't a fine girl. Her husband was in jail while she was fucking me. You saw Brandy on my pictures, that nice looking blonde. She wasn't a nice girl. Her husband was in jail. And she was playing the field. And I was sowing my oats. And I didn't give a shit if her husband was in jail. Because she has her own needs and wants and her own conscience. And I'm not responsible for her conscience at all. Brandy was a fine girl. She was. In bed, it's about it. Yeah. You miss one fine girl, just like a bus, another one comes along. Go for the ride. Be it a long ride or just a small excursion. That's life. You decide how far you want to take that bus in life. And the same thing applies to how much you want to lie. How long you want to stretch those lies. Like a fucking rubber band. How long do you want to stretch it before that rubber band breaks? Can't stretch it anymore. You've outlied yourself. Now you're paying the price. And more to come. You lied, you lied, you lied more. You lied more and you lied more and you lied to your girlfriend, you lied to yourself, you lied to your family, what's left of it, who gives a fuck about you anymore, who probably doesn't give a fuck about you to begin with. You find yourself alone in the world. And you gotta have female companionship because you gotta get your dick wet. You get your wallet full and your dick wet. Isn't that what it's all about? For people, scumballs, scumbags, people like him. Now, I said him. I never said a name, but the reason you could relate to who I'm talking about is because you know these things as a fact. You don't have to mention a name. Because you know somebody has did all of the above. Who lied through his 4 rotten teeth that are black. The guy who even sold his teeth. How do you trust a man like that? Who could give some money from people meant to go to one of his girlfriends. They pockets half the money and gives the rest to his girlfriend. It was meant to help a girl to get her store together. But he takes half the fucking money. Nice guy. Nice guy, huh? Real nice guy. We need more people like that, don't you think? Don't you think? Now, just from this show alone and probably 1,000 other shows I've did, I think you pretty much figured out that I pretty much speak my mind on here. You know, not always a good thing, but not always a bad thing either. You got to be honest with yourself, besides being honest with other people. And the one thing I try to do on my show, I'm not poop eye. I'm not worried about the corn in my shit. Okay, I'm not worried about playing bingo and riding an electric scooter and smoking Camels and drinking scotch. You know, that telltale cough says it all, by the way, because I'm smart. I have a lot of intellect. My IQ is certainly higher than most people on here. Forgive me if I mispronounce a word now and then. I'm half fucking deaf. But, boy, the compliments coming in left and right. I don't know where they're coming in. The guy with the golden voice. That's all I keep on hearing. You got a great voice. You got a voice I could listen to all the time. Oh, saying something nice about me. Wow. Well, thank you for the compliments on the voice. To be honest with you, I never really thought I had a great voice. But my audience spoke up and he said something nice besides something bad. And I guess they meant something nice. I could listen to your voice all night, they say. Oh my God, I could take a notebook of all the compliments people have said. You should be an announcer. You should be a UFC announcer. You should do commercials. Whatever. All right, They meant something nice by that, and thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. A gift, perhaps. The man with the golden voice. Really? Never thought I did. You could say something else if you want to label me something other than my voice. You could say this is the man that doesn't lie. This is the man that tells it like it is. And sometimes, my friends and foes, when you tell the truth about somebody, they get very defensive. But why would they get defensive? Because you hit a nerve. You defined who they were very adequately. And they know you were right. That I figured these people out exactly what they were all about and the lonely, miserable life that they're living. And that's why they come on YouTube. They want to attack people to make themselves feel better. Boo-hoo. Probably does, Mark. Probably does. Can you imagine him with all the American flags on there? Meep, 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 meep. Out of the way. I'm Popeye the Spinach Man. I live in the garbage can. I'm a go to the finish because I eat my corn out of my shit. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man from 45 fucking years ago in Subic fucking Bay 45 years ago. Give it a rest, dude. Get on a fucking plane before you croak in the next few years. And go make it back to Subic Bay and go find some more fucking whores. Go get laid. I think that's your problem. You're too busy looking at Princess Anne nude on her live cam show with your goddamn underwear down to your ankles. You're too busy looking at pictures of my girlfriend, which you would never get a woman of that quality in your life, nevertheless getting a woman in your life. But you'll say things. Oh, her kids. Say terrible things like crusty vagina. Or whatever. You would probably take a crusty vagina if you had to. Because any vagina, I guess, to you would be better than no vagina. Throw away that fucking rubber phallic symbol that you put your dick in all the time. It's called a pocket pussy. Get a real fucking woman. Come on, you got money coming. And go hire some Florida whore. Go hire some fucking whore. That's what you need to do. You need to get laid, Popeye. You need to get fucking laid. That's your problem. Go find some silver-haired senior at the bingo parlor that can still put out. And maybe if there's enough room on your little toot-toot scooter, she might be able to fit on the back seat. And you both can go singing old naval songs, sea chanties together, while you drive your little putt-putt scooter to the beach and talk about your tall tales of my days back in the Navy. In the Navy, in the Navy, I was in the Navy. As far as what I did for a job, I really was nothing but a useless slob. But I was indeed in the Navy. In the Navy, there I was in Subic Bay. Yeah, okay. It's been a great show tonight, folks. It's been a great show. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my tiny little channel, my insignificant channel. Please hit the notification bar up there, that little bell, so you know when I do a next show. There you go. It's not hard. It's not hard. We're not asking for money on here. Not really. We're not monetized. I don't charge people for consultation. I would never do that. Look, you got to call a spade a spade. We got a dude that croaked recently. Was he a good human? No, he wasn't. Stop this high road shit. They formed the HRC, the High Road Club. after knocking this person down 6 feet under, well before he was 6 feet under, when he dies, all of a sudden they take the high road. He was a good guy. He had a good sense of humor, even though he did scam everybody and he conned everybody and he told lies all the time. What a swell guy he was. What a bunch of ding-dongs these people are. They jumped the fence better than a gazelle could. No matter how old they are, or bad their legs are not working. But boy, when it comes jumping a fence, they are champion athletes. Champion athletes. That's what they are. So, to end this show, I'll make a statement. If you find yourself in a bad predicament, perhaps you have caused this predicament. Stop pointing fingers and he did it and there. You put yourself in that position, Jack. You put yourself in that position. Stand on your own 2 fucking feet, put boots on the ground. Admit your wrongs, but admit it to yourself. Maybe something good can come out of your sick, pathetic life, if you want to call it that. I still say it. Any fucking woman that could be interested in people like him have got maybe the same or more of a problem than he has. There ain't no woman desperate enough that would go out with a guy like him. There's got to be some story to that. Like maybe owing the family some money. I ain't letting this guy go yet until I get back the money borrowed from my family to buy everything. Oh, you're not going to go yet, pal. Not yet. But when I find a way to get that money off you, you're gone, motherfucker. Rotten fucking jail, motherfucker. That's how it works. So, I'll end it with the initial song that I started singing. Well, another one. I get by with little help from my friends. Yeah, I get by with little help from my friends. Do you need somebody? I want somebody to love. No, you don't. You want somebody to go in their pockets and purses to supplement your income for your booze and your cigarettes and your ill ways, to pay your rent and electricity and Xbox and cell phones and teeth, which you wind up selling anyway. You sick, pathetic bastard. And I'll end it by saying my theme song of the night. You can't always get what you want. I say you can't always get what you want. But if you try so hard, you just might find you get what you need. But you got to try. And if you don't try, you don't get what you need. If you're continually fucking up, you just fuck yourself up over and over again, because some people can't shut their mouths. They have to learn the hard way. And we're not talking about an erection. They got to learn the hard way by getting incarcerated, by possibly facing many years of incarceration. But no, they never done anything wrong. Then why the fuck are you there, moron? Why the hell are you there? You low-life scumbag piece of shit, dog-faced cockroach, fucking mantis. Now, of course, we're talking about a guy named George Wilson, of course. You remember George Wilson. Remember George, how he did all this shit? Yeah, George Wilson, what a character. He did all the above stuff I'm talking about on here. George Wilson. And everybody knows who I'm talking about, George. But George is incarcerated now. How did he do that? I'll tell you how. He did it to himself, motherfucker. Okay, guys, you've been a swell audience. You all take care. You hear now?